What are my credentials to draft all 7 rounds for the Philadelphia Eagles? Absolutely none, but we're going to do it anyway. I won't do this part for every round, but at least the first round I will. You can see all of the picks that have been taken so far. Aiden Hutchinson goes 1, not really a shock, even though apparently Trayvon Walker is now the favorite to go number 1. Derek Stingley goes 4. I'm trying to see if there's anyone I would have taken here. Kyle Hamilton is one player that if he falls to us, I think we should probably at least look at. Garrett Wilson's another one, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Jamison Williams goes to the Commanders. That's not good for us. And then Evan Neal and Devin Lloyd gets taken. That is the linebacker I've been taking in a lot of mock drafts that I've done off recording. And here's my thought process at pick 15. With Devin Lloyd already off the board, I'm really looking at Nakobe Dean just in case the Saints or the Chargers take one. I know Karlaftis is right here, and apparently he's one of the guys in this draft that people love, but I'm going to take Nakobe Dean here at 15. I don't think this would be popular in Philly media because all the reporters on Twitter, which obviously they don't matter at all when it comes to draft time, but they all love Jordan Davis. But if Karlaftis fell to us at 18, I think we'd be kind of dumb to pass on him. So I'm going to take George Karlaftis here at pick 18. Like I said, I'm not going to do this for every round, but I want to see what the rest of the first round ended up being. Looks like Malik Willis went 19 to the Saints. Jordan Davis goes to Pittsburgh. Anyone else I was really considering taking here? The only player here that I'm really sad I kind of missed out on was Nick Bonito, the edge rusher out of Oklahoma. I am a Sooners fan, so it's a little bit biased, but I think he's going to be pretty solid, and he goes to the Ravens at pick 45. And right here, I'd really love to take a defensive back because we missed out on all of them in the first round, but I really don't see one here that's worth a second round pick right now. So if we go back to this list, and having just said I'm an Oklahoma Sooners fan, and I would have taken Nick Bonito based solely off bias, I'm going to draft Brian Asamoah here. We get 2 linebackers that I think can start immediately on our defense and really help it. And now in the third round, I'm looking at Marcus Jones, the defensive back out of Houston. It looks like in 2021, he graded out at 87.8 and allowed a passer rating of only 53.5 in 2021 and 63.3 in 2020. And he had a good grade against SMU. Not a great grade against Cincinnati, but I think this will be a solid pick here for us. And here in the late third round, I'm finally going to add an offensive player. We're going to add wide receiver David Bell out of Purdue. I think he'd be a pretty solid pickup here late in the third round. He graded at an 87.5 last season, and I think as of right now, he would probably be a better option on the other side of Devontae Smith than Jalen Reagor. And now in the fourth round at pick 124, our linebackers were pretty bad last season, so I'm going to add a third linebacker here. Is it a little overkill to add 3 linebackers in the first 4 rounds? Probably, but we're going to add Malcolm Rodriguez out of Oklahoma State. And now here in round 5 at pick 154, I am looking to add an offensive lineman because we did lose Brandon Brooks to retirement. So I'm looking at this guy. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name, but he graded out at a 77.8, which is the highest rated guard left. So that's who we're going to take. And here with our second 5th round pick at pick 162, I'm looking at Curtis Brooks, defensive lineman out of Cincinnati. He graded out an 82.3. It looks like he's one of the best interior D linemen left. And you may be asking, is this guy just drafting based solely off PFF grade? Kind of. And now here with my third and final 5th round pick, I'm looking at the quarterback out of Notre Dame, Jack Cohn, because I honestly believe at some point, if not during the draft, we will move on from Gardner Minshew, and we are going to need a backup quarterback, so that's who we're going to take there. And then here with our last pick in the draft, round 7, pick 16, I'm looking at safety Brad Hawkins out of Michigan, graded out an 83 this last season. His best game was apparently against Nebraska, and his worst game was against Georgia, but he's just going to be a backup on this team and just provide a little more depth. Alright, and let's go over the draft grade that Pro Football Focus has given me. Nakobe Dean, they gave me a B. George Karlaftis was an A+ at pick 18. Yeah, I would probably agree with that. Brian Asamoah, a C at pick 51. Marcus Jones, an A- at pick 83. They gave me a D+ for David Bell. He was like the 4th receiver down on the board. That doesn't really surprise me. Malcolm Rodriguez, they gave me a B-. The guard out of North Carolina, I don't know how to pronounce his name, they gave me a C. Curtis Brooks, they gave me a D+, and Jack Cohn, they gave me an F. And then Brad Hawkins, they gave me an A for an overall draft grade of B. So there is my, I guess, prediction or draft game. I don't know what you want to call this, but this was my 7-round mock draft for the Philadelphia Eagles.